You are listening to a pleasure podcast. For more from our Sex Podcast Collective, visit pleasurepodcasts.com.
There is a chance that I karate punch this mic stand, and I take the mic by the shaft. It's got to be what it's called. It's got to be. I don't even mean that like a dirty way, but it's like the shaft, the head of the microphone, the shaft by the handle. Oh, KMS. Because I want to, okay? Because I want to. Because I tried leaning back because we're listener questioning the F up today, but I felt like a fat cow. And for my female listeners, you'll understand. Also, my breasts look huge. And my dream sponsor is Skims. And that's what kind of bra it is. And girls, I've been wearing the t-shirt bras for like years now where that's it. To the point where it's like, Jordan, shouldn't you like maybe wear a real bra sometimes? Like for the sake, because gravity hits you no matter what if they're real or if they're fake. Right? Yeah. Gravity does its thing. And I know the girls with the fake, we have the upper hand. Obviously, I'm not trying to, oh, no, not at all. But I was like, maybe I should wear a real bra sometimes. Okay. So I ordered a Skims one. I didn't know that it was a dupe of the Bombshell. Remember the Bombshell girlies? We're going to get to this. If you're not watching the video, I brought a lemon drop with me. If you follow me on social media, you know, you're like, oh, she's nightly making martinis. Sounds healthy. Wellness, cheers. It's funny, right? You go through like a phase and I'm like, yeah, like I literally, like I feel so adult. I never really drink. I don't have a taste for it. I work out a lot. Like I do other things to decompress. And now I'm like lemon drop at night, perfecting the recipe. I think I'm just over wine. And I was like, I want a new summer drink. Like when I do go on date nights, what do I like? And then I wanted to know how to make it at home and I'm perfecting my craft. So I just call it studying up. Being ADHD, getting hyper-focused on something. If you could see that I look so fucking stupid. Like I'm just holding my little hand up like a Barbie claw. It's starting to hurt. It's cramping, actually. Oh, that feels so nice. Thank you. I recorded me making it. Twist of the wrist. And it's the best recipe. I really have gotten it down to a science to the point where I am guaranteeing you there's no benefit in this for me except for you to be fucking obsessed with it and go, thank you, Jordan. If you make this at home, you're going to go, she was fucking right. I don't need to order a lemon drop because I can make one that's the best. Like the best lemon drop you've ever had. So if you want that recipe, I think I'm going to put it on my social media. DM me if it's not there because I chickened out, but I'll figure it out. Really good. Okay, what were we talking about? Oh, being ADHD, yes. Hyper-focusing, potential alcoholism, check. Oh yeah. I was being self-deprecating, talking about that I feel like a fat cow. And sometimes hormonally we just feel like the end of the world is happening and we're just hungry and we want to eat our way through that. We want to eat our way around that. And then putting on the real bra and making my breasts look much larger than they actually are, which should make me feel better about myself. And I like that my husband's looking at them like they're a new pair of boobs in his face. But it's really adding to the me feeling like a fat cow. But I also want to give credit to my body dysmorphia for really keeping me in check, because one of the listener questions today, we talk about being hot. Let's just call it that. Or like and being hot is subjective and really a mindset when it comes down to it. But also, we're not going to be delusional. Okay, we're not going to be delusional. You're not going to see me there's pick your words, Jordan. I'll just get there when we get there. People care about people that care about themselves. I say that often. So, yeah, I know some might say, don't bitch, don't complain, be appreciative. Yeah, you're right. I should do that. But it's okay because I'm also... one of you at home is like, guess what, bitch? I feel the exact same way. Thank you for validating me. That was for you and for me, for us. So, ASMR, you hate that shit. Get cozy. Make one of these. Should I just pop the recipe up? I think I should just pop the recipe up. Here you go. Shake it up. Shake it up, get the ice chips, get it foamy, and you only need one and done. Oh, there's my dog. I was like, if that's my husband, I'm going to throw this at him. The listener questions. Whoa. We've got a husband who told his wife he's not straight, and she's the definition of cool, or I shouldn't even say that. But she's very open, and it's her personality. She's not making herself be some type of way. She's just really open-minded. But now it's what about me? What about what I like? What about boundaries? So that's going to be a fun one. We've got hot or not. We've got when's it time to call it quits, all kinds of juicy, good stuff. So get one of these. If you want one of these, if you want a coffee, if you want a tea, if you want a water with lemon, if you want to wash your face and put a mask on, if you want to drive your car, if you want to kick back in the lazy boy, whatever. I don't give a fuck. But I do want you to subscribe. That's what I do want you to do. I do want you to click follow. I do want you to leave a review. By the way, are y'all having a who's going to leave the nicest review contest? Because they have been touching my heart. They've really been touching my heart. I'm like, oh my God, I love you. And then I was like, I love this person. New favorite person wrote this review. And I put it on my Instagram. Next day, someone topped it. Someone topped it. So cheers to you. Cheers to you. And what else? I mean, if that inspires someone to leave me a really mean 1-star, I think, okay, let it be. Let it be. I'm really coming to terms with hatred, the kind that I've been receiving lately, and being like, okay, you know what? We're gaining momentum. I don't know if the choo-choo train, I think all roads lead to action, if that makes sense. So I guess, you got to find your tribe, weed them out. You win some, you lose some, you trigger some. Sometimes you change people's minds. People make assumptions. And then if they're cool and they're like, I'm going to fact checked myself. And maybe they'll find out, oh, I had it so wrong. Or you know what? I like some, I don't like some, but it's an interesting conversation I want to take part of. Anyways, subscribe, like I said, follow, like I said, write a review, like I said, follow me on social media, like I said. And if you want to write in, thehornyhousewifepodcast.com. And if you want to watch, you should totally watch. Go to YouTube and click the little bell so you don't forget anything. Let's do this. Attention all lovers, attention all slutty, squirter, wet, yummy, messy lovers. Have you ever made a mess so good that you needed new sheets? There is a better way. No more towels stacking. No more sleeping on the wet spot. Gross. We are all adults. It's time to level up your love life, okay? Liberation in the bedroom starts with not worrying about the cleanup. That's not sexy. We're sleepy after. Let's cuddle. Let's aftercare. Let's not do the laundry. Today's sponsor is Splash Blanket, the world's most luxurious waterproof blanket. And there's options. I love when there's options. It comes in over 5 sizes and in 3 main styles. So the OG, the Fur Lush, and the Bambougie. So whether you want a super fluffy, absorbent blanket, you've got that option. We can do the silky, smooth faux fur feel, or we can do the lightweight, sustainable bamboo sheet. So I love options. That's my favorite part about this. Splash Blanket has the most extensive range available for all sensory taste and preferences. Range of colors and, like I said, shapes and sizes, and it's made to withstand over 1 liter of liquid. So they're not only absorbent, but they're completely waterproof. Not a drop of liquid is going to be able to soak through to the other side, whether it's lube, body oil, squirt, blood, sweat, or tears. This blanket can take it all. And right now, Splash Blanket's offering my listeners 15% off your order when you enter code housewife at splashblanket.us, or just click the link in the episode description. That's Splash Blankets, SPLASHBLANKET.US, and use code housewife to get 15% off this amazing blanket. Okay. Since I got y'all all teased and excited in the intro about listener questions with that husband, let's just dive right in, belly flop right into that one. Okay. My husband came out to me as bisexual 1 week before having our 4th baby after being together for 10 years. I'm very confused. I want to be as supportive as I can. He says this is all new to him too. I can't help but feel like he's been hiding it for years, but also understand things change. He's always been more against the LGBT community, if anything, so to say I was shocked is an understatement. I really regret in the intro going, she's saying she was so cool. I feel like that's such a damaging sentence I said. So there's me like saying, you can change your mind, you know? And it was being thoughtless in my words, okay? Having a podcast, it's wild, you know? You have to talk, but you probably will say something you shouldn't. My hormones are not helping me with this new news. With coming out, he has only told me. He doesn't want to tell anyone else yet. And he isn't sure if he will ever want to, which I suppose either way, I feel like that's his news to share if he wants. Great. What a great support. That's very supportive. That's lovely. With this news coming out, it has brought up new kinks. I've told him I'm up for trying anything, just about anything, at least a few times. The 2 things I can't get myself to try is any kind of physically adding a person. I'm way too jealous, and I don't want to open that up as a thing in our relationship, and I do not want to act out grape. I've been graped. It brings up too much from my past. He 100% understands and would never push me on it. We do a lot of dirty talk with adding a person, such as cuck, him with a guy, me with a girl. It does absolutely nothing for me. If anything, it's more of a turn off for me. But that's as much as comfortable when it comes to adding a person. 90% of the things I say while he is jacking off is not truth and makes me a bit uncomfortable. For example, I wish your dick was as big as his and you'd suck it with me. If that happened in real life, I'd run away crying, seeing a dick in his mouth. He also likes to wear my panties. Okay. Which is also a bit uncomfortable for me. More in the sense that it's so new. If I told him to wear my panties a year ago, he would tell me I'm insane and laugh. So can I be true? You asked me. If you write in to me, that means you've listened to the show and you hear how I respond. And let's just say, like, I have no credentials. I'm just here shooting you straight, and I'm the first one to tell you that. And it turns out, like, I think I'm giving pretty good advice. Like, I think I have the gift of discernment. I really do. I've seen it be true over and over in my life, and not discern that the microphone was going to hit me in the face. But yeah, okay, here we go. After I like tooted my own horn. But yeah, you wrote into me. So like that means whether you even knew or not subconsciously, you wanted this answer from me, and you may be mad at me, and you may never listen to me again. You may click unfollow. You don't need to do that. Even if you don't listen, you don't have to click unfollow. But it's like my duty. It's my duty to like tell you the right answer, and this gift of a podcast of me I get to be a chicken. I get to not see you in face to face. I don't have to have balls. I get to do it all alone in a room looking at a camera and remembering, oh yeah, this is real. But that's how we save lives. That's how we save lives over here. Okay, so one, it's all new and a lot at once. Yeah, I'm going to hold, I can imagine. And you're not, and shame on me if it's feeling like I'm being condescending, like you are being condescending. It's just because I already know that you may think like you need to do X, Y, and Z when really this is like a him thing. And have a little grace. Have a little grace on yourself. We're going to get through this together. 2, I want to give him everything I can so he doesn't cheat. Oh, there we have it. And you know what? I am no one to judge because all of us, stand up, raise your hand, put your hand on your head, rub your belly if you've ever wanted to keep a person. Or be like, I need to do blank. I need to be this. So this doesn't happen to me. Or feel like he is missing out on the buy side. He's never been with a guy. 3rd, how do I navigate kinks? My partner loves that. I'm not excited about it, and it kind of turns me off. So if I was just to like sift through all of the word vomit that I'm going to spew, I would, my main point, if like ChatGPT, you're not compatible. You are not compatible. Don't leave him. Do you have babies with him? Let's go up. My husband. Oh, babe, you're a bitch. I just fucking told you. Do you pay attention to anything? I don't want to hear your answer. Okay, so, okay, this is the real deal. The stakes are high. You want to be with him. You have built a life with him. You love him. But then there's some things you're going to have to accept. So there's going to be an evolution of your relationship, essentially. Because if you, like anyone that's listening that's like, I relate, but I'm 23, like, and you're not married, no kids, like, I say, like, do you want to, like, think about how much you want to. But to this listener who is like still like, fuck you, Jordan, because you were just real negative right then until you got caught up with the facts and then we're changing our tune. No, I mean, the factors really matter, right? It really, really, really matters. I bet a lot of people, if they were being brutally, brutally honest, if they were like, yeah, if I had to do it all over again, you wouldn't say like, fuck them, like, I'm not saying that, but you'd be like, I would value this. I would make this decision. I would not allow this. I would stand up for myself during this. I would have, you know what I mean? I think that's normal, to have hindsight about maybe how you would have respected yourself more. You would have had more self-worth, etc. So I think I would super duper hope that you're able to be vulnerable with your husband about how you're processing and feeling and like navigating all of this. Because if he is just completely like, this is his story and his like, and I could understand how that would be so heavy, but I can't help but hope that in that there would also be this love that you have for the other person, where you would be like, how does this affect my person, my partner? Like, how does this impact them? Because if it impacts them, it impacts us. It'll bleed over into the bedroom. It'll bleed over into parenting, like whatever it is, all the things. Like, it's going to be like pasta, spaghetti at some point. So communicating about this, being able to be like, hey, like I feel, and maybe this is where therapy could be like super impactful for this kind of situation. And that would mean finding a therapist who you feel in alignment with, who is open-minded. You wouldn't go to like the church counselor. Like, you would go to someone who is an ally, who is, you know what I'm saying? Like someone who is going to help you understand one another and not be like shaming a person, or you want someone who's going to help you be solution oriented. It's like, I'm going to go find someone that holds the same values as I do. Like, you should go find someone that holds the same values as you do, so that it's a match, so you can actually like hear the other person if it's like, your therapist that you're paying. So all depends on the person. But I think that could be very helpful, because you're going to have to be able to talk, especially if you want this to last and not like build up resentment, or else you'll probably end up in a situation where, it'll be like, how long? Like, how long do you want to feel like this? Are you just going to like callous over at some point? Are you just going to give in and open the relationship at some point? And then what will come of that, if that's what he wants? Are you going to let him, are you going to like violate your own boundaries? Are you going to just people please your way through this? Are you like, what's going to happen? And the scary part is, and this is like with all love, there's risks involved. So it's like there's nothing you can do to keep him. Like, there have been guys, like I've been the perfect girlfriend and been cheated on. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can check all the boxes, or think you're checking off all the boxes and really like putting an effort to, and still get fucked over. And I know that's scary and sounds like, oh, and cynical, but you can't live like that, because then I'm not saying when, I'm saying if something happens, it'll just like even more at what you thought was that wasn't, like the ultimate betrayal, because I was doing this, I should have. And that's not how it works. And life will humble your ass and teach you that. Unfortunately, but I promise. If his prerogative, if that's what he ultimately wants to do, if that is something he has on loop, we don't know what's going on in his head. You know what I mean? And you can't dwell and obsess over that. But believe me, I think all of us girly pops, especially the anxious ones, have been in that like, but what if this, but what if that? It's kind of like, and easier said than done. It's easier for me to give this advice of like, we have to just accept, we can't, if they do, then they lose us. But it's like, but hey, I lost, but I lost. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to be lost. I didn't want to lose. Seems like a lose-lose, but that's the risk with love. So if he wants to go explore that side of himself, then what do you do? And I think there are some people you're going to talk to who are just like, yeah, you're incompatible. You're going to have to make a decision to stay together for the kids and like partner, like we're partnering, but he may want to be with a man or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, what if he's really just like gay? Like, everyone's thinking it, but I'm just saying it. Like, what if he isn't just bi and that's like the beginning and he's actually just gay? Don't act like we haven't heard that story before. Don't act like we haven't heard that story before. Like, it's happening. I watch TV, okay? I have social media. So then what? And then it's like, what about your life? What about what you want? What about the kind of relationship you have in mind? Like, if he has something he's longing for, if everyone's just giving in to like, what do I want? What do I want? Anyways, sometimes you know how it can be damaging. If that's where the state you live in, good luck. Good fucking luck. If he wants to cheat on you, he'll cheat. If he feels like he's missing out, he's going to feel like he's missing out. If this isn't exciting to you and you continue to do all of these things out of obligation, there isn't a you might, it is a you will eventually become quite resentful. You might resent yourself, you might resent him, probably both. So there has to be some conversations of like what you're thinking, what is he thinking? Find that out. You can't both expect each other to mind read. You have no idea. Don't fill in the blanks. Don't fill in the blanks for yourself. That's torture. So talk to him. Say, how do you feel about this? Here are the scenarios that I play out in my head. Here are some of the fears I have around this. And then have the conversation about it. And hopefully, and you might have to pry, be like, what do you wish you could have? What do you feel like we have as a relate? What do you want in this relationship? Where are we going? How can we water this and take care of this? Is this sustainable? And if not, what needs to happen so that it is sustainable? What do we want? I really think that that's where you're at, and it's not just this, oh, so sexually I found out he's bi and like this is the sitch. It's like this is gigantic. So that's why you're writing in. And if you feel uncomfortable, I mean, what are you going to do? Condition yourself? And I know at first it's like, you've been so cool. I mean, you've definitely been going with the flow, and you've definitely been focused on like the outside of yourself of like what you got to do to keep this in place and how scary that can feel for it to be like, oh no, you might lose control. Oh no, it might not go the way you expected it to go, which is fucking terrifying. And there's another listener question where someone asked my opinion on leaving. I'm like, okay, just show all my cards now. But more on that, it's like, at what point, I know this is horrible, you're like saying our babies, our life, it doesn't mean I don't love him, but for some reason, it's just sad for me to think about someone choosing to stay in a situation because they think that's what they have to do for everybody else to be okay. And I think if you really thought about it in all regards and talked to someone else, you'd find out that that's not the case. It's not the case. So moving onward, we got the lemon drop back in. It's helping us be just really, we're not holding back. Speaking of not holding back, help Jordan. I need a sister to set me straight. I've lost my hot post having a baby. How do I get it back? Don't sugarcoat me. Shoot me straight. I have thick skin. And the truth, although painful, seems to be very helpful. Okay. I like you. I like you a lot. The number one sexiest thing that a woman finds in a man is confidence. I'm a woman, I can tell you. I'm sure men feel the same way in some regards, but like when someone is confident and they carry themselves in that way, it's an energy that's felt and very, very, very sexy. And sometimes, I mean, even the most confident guy outside the bedroom, get in the bedroom and it's like, it's a different story. And men, you deserve to feel confident in the bedroom. That is where Blue Chew comes in. If you don't know what Blue Chew is, it is an online prescription service where you can get the same active ingredients that are in Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but in chewable forms. Blue Chew is the original, the OG brand offering chewable tablets. It's amazing. It's all done online, so it's super easy. You're not going to the doctor, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line. You just do it all online and you talk to a U.S. licensed-based physician in a couple of days, bing, bang, boom. It was 2 days later. It was on the doorstep, discreet packaging delivered right to your door. So it's easy. We got that part and it's affordable. It's affordable and we love that. We love that. And you can try 1 month free going to bluechew.com or just click the link in the episode notes and use code housewife at checkout. So try Blue Chew 1 month free. Code housewife at bluechew.com. I wish you would have elaborated and told me like where you feel like you're not hot, but let me just assume when you grow a baby, you gain weight. Duh. And after you have a baby, usually, every 100% of the time, you lose the ability to, dedicate time to your self-care. It's extremely hard. I know there is a small percentage of the world that has a nanny or their mother or mother-in-law or a relative or a night nurse. Someone lives with them and helps them, or they just have help all the time. Shit, if you live near family where you have a regular, whenever I need you babysitter, you are extremely, extremely, extremely fortunate. There are people who do not have that, And I don't know about you, but I am so, I do not just let anybody watch my kids. I don't. Only my mother-in-law, pretty much. Maybe a close friend for a couple of hours, but no, you never overnight. I'm a no sleepover mom. Okay, we're getting derailed. I don't want the listeners to go, the lemon drop was a mistake, Jordan. You got derailed so often. No, we're just we're geeking. Okay, girls, the guys, I think aren't going to hate me for this. And I know you're like, it's girl talk, but I think you're going to like it because someone needs to say it and you can't. You're not allowed. If your woman, a woman needs to be able to feel comfortable to go to someone, and hopefully their best friend, their sister, their mom, whoever, can shoot them straight. And sometimes that person, their mom, their sister, their best friend, they don't want to hear from. So this is perfect. I know that you're doing so much as a new mom, or maybe not. I don't know if you specified if it was your first or whatever, but as a postpartum woman, whose hormones are doing the damn thing, your body's doing its thing, you might be bleeding, TMI, you might have a colicky baby, you might just be depressed as fuck, I'm not sure. But if you want to get out of the uglies, the PP uglies, let's just call them the PP uglies and just whip that out of my butt, then you're going to have to give a shit. You're going to have to find when he's napping, sleep when he sleeps. Put makeup on when he sleeps. Give yourself, put your face in an ice bowl. Let it freeze. Pop back up. Get a Celsius. You can have caffeine now. Really take advantage. Have all the caffeine you can. Thanks, Jordan. Take an Advil. You'll be fine. Take a melatonin at night, an Ambien, a gummy. I don't care. And set an iPhone timer. Don't forget to put makeup on, bitch. Pick out an outfit every Wednesday. Hold yourself accountable. Start getting dressed. You know what I would do? Because I'm not a morning person, bad mood in the morning, no matter what, no matter kids, what age, teenager, adult, bad mood in the morning, Jordan. When you know your husband's coming home from work, now you go find that outfit. Now you put on the makeup. I didn't have any of that on all day. I did what I needed to do. Being a mom was obviously first priority and what was I physically needed to tend to. It doesn't matter. You can wait till the very last minute. You're like, wait, I said I want to get hot, not just hot for my husband. Start there though. If you're going to do this, at least get some fucking credit for it, okay? At least let it trickle over into your relationship, okay? Because if you're having to get ready in the morning and you feel like a slob kebab by the time he comes home, you deserve to reap the benefits of, and you're like, I don't want him to touch me, of getting hot. So you'll have more energy in the afternoon. You can do it maybe around nap time. I would have the boppy around me breastfeeding and doing my makeup whilst baby on boob, hunched over like this. And doing that, you just start getting in the habit of putting in some effort. Do your hair. Don't wear leggings and a t-shirt every day. Also, just so you all feel better if you just feel in that slum, it's only a season. There's a 200,000% chance you're going to get out of that season, and they do get older. They do grow up. Time just flies. And it won't be like this. It won't feel like this. And you will get your hot back. Almost all the moms I know got hotter post childbirth, something to really hold on to, especially after your first baby. It seems like, you're going to bounce back. We're going to manifest that. I bounce back so fast. I'm bouncing back so freaking fast. You're like enough of the lemon drop. I bounced back so fucking fast. Wow, she bounced back so fast. She got hotter. She glowed up. Do something for yourself. Did you get a push present? Because if you didn't, it's time to cash in. Hair extensions, boob job. What are we thinking? The men are like, jewelry. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. You're like, you're drunk. No. But for real, there should be a push present involved. I don't know your budget exactly. But she gave you a baby, sir. She had your child. You did this to her, actually. And she pushed it out. Or she was cut open. And they got it out. So either way, a present should be involved because she gave you one that's forever. Forever. I'm going to put it down now. Okay, I'm back. So shooting it like a sister. Sissy. Are you scrolling when you could be doing something else? When Trevor gets home from work, could you hit a Pilates class? Could you hit the gym? I suggest a class. I vote not the gym. That's just me. I think that you have to have a lot of self-motivation, and I feel like it's just too many people they think one thing about the gym, or they're like, trust me, no, I don't want that. It's so expensive. It's expensive because it's worth it. And the gym is really fucking expensive too. And maybe I'm wrong, and there's some people that are like, I'm going to do the exercise, Jordan, or get that time when Trevor gets home, but I'm not doing the boutique fitness because I love my gym where I can tan and blah and blam. Okay, fine. Probably get really good gossip, really good tea there. Someone's having an affair there. Someone's cheating on someone with her. Someone's husband's gay, fucking another guy in the shower. Probably. Yes. Probably. But boutique fitness is fun. And like, you'll make mommy friends. Speaking of that, they have mommy meetups. I'm going to tell you a really embarrassing story. So when I was a new mom, I was not only a new mom, but I knew no one. I'm not from here, moved to Portland, and then after having a baby, moved to Portland to Washington. I knew no one. I was a new mom. I had no family here. And I remember I went on the Meetup app and I was like, I'm bossy. I'm starting my own. And it became like a little club thing. And I did make temporary friends that, none of them, I made one that I really liked her a lot. And then during COVID, I posted something, and then she posted a story and was like, how could someone be so stupid to say this? And it was like exactly what I said. And I was like, okay, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. And then there was another girl who was my neighbor, and she was like really cool. And then she moved. And then one girl, I really don't care, but it's funny how like during that season of my life, it was exactly what I needed. And it motivates you, and talking to other women and relating, that kind of like gets your juices flowing. So when you're at home and you're isolated and you're in mommy land, it can be it's very unsexy. It's the opposite of sexy. So you have to take long baths that you invite your dildo to. You have to. I know there's been a lot of lately, I feel like porn has a bad rap now, and I think it's extremely damaging, and I do not recommend basically men to use it. But women, on the other hand, I know this is so fucked up and so hypocritical, and it can be equally damaging, truly, truly. But for some women, especially when you feel numb, you can gain some momentum, especially if you are really naive in certain areas. People are like, you are a bad influence. But I do think there can be some benefits for certain seasons in people's lives. Don't you me? So one way to maybe feel spicy again, planning a date night, remembering who you are, like getting away anytime. Tell your husband, say, I'm on my journey to find my hot. Like, I want to have a glow up. Like, get on Pinterest. Do you need to go shopping? Do you what can you have to give you a sense of self, a little bit of independence? And since you're married, I'm assuming you're married. You didn't share that, but I'm assuming you're married. It's time to ask Zaddy to step forward. Be like, you want this pussy back? I'm not weaponizing it, not using it to like bribe you or anything, but he should admire you, respect you, and like applaud you. And I think a lot of men listening, they're like, yeah, if my wife came and was like, I want to get my sexy back, I would be like, yes, baby, yes. So he should enable this journey. Trevor needs to come the fuck home, and he needs to say, go to trivia night, go to Pilates, go shopping, go drive around the block. I mean, if you're like, we really have the limits, Jordan, it's not like that. Drive around the block. Put the baby to bed at 6:30, okay? Because this is the only time in the baby's life that you can do that. Do it. And then light some fucking candles, order some Chinese, watch a movie that gets you in the mood. And you're like, did you go from hot to horny? Sometimes I feel like they go hand in hand. Because when you feel like you can get in that headspace, I don't know about you, but I feel like more in tune and sexy and feminine. When I feel like sexy and feminine, like that to me is hot, when I feel confident. So whatever you can do, I can't give you those answers, but whatever you can do to feel more confident, that's your answer. That is your answer. Working out, I think, not giving in to every little intrusive thought that cock blocks you in life, and I'll let you take that statement and mold it to how it applies. And don't lose your identity. I know having children is the most impactful, important thing that you can do. You're a superwoman. You're a badass bitch. And it's your job. It's your job. Like, they're relying on you, and you want them to turn out to be like good, functioning, successful adults. So don't worry about it or anything. But they got to see mommy be a badass mommy. They got to see mommy be happy, mommy feel love, mommy feel hot, mommy prioritize mommy, okay? Moving onward. I talk about mindset all the time, and if you are in your head or you have some internal dialogue, you can totally fuck yourself, derail yourself, whether it's in regards to sex, whether it's about your self-image, your body image, what you think you can and can't do, such as losing weight. So for all of my yo-yo dieters, for my busy professionals, maybe you stress eat, maybe you're just freaking tired and you feel like you don't have the time to work out, the parents, the post-pregnancy moms, the emotional eaters, my yo-yo dieters, my frequent travelers, all kinds of people who maybe you struggle to maintain portion control. Maybe you're into like all the fad trend diets and they're just not sticking. Maybe you've got a bad cycle of binge eating. All the things that don't serve us. this is where Hypnosio is going to come in. Hypnosio is an app. It's a self-hypnotherapy app designed to transform your weight loss journey by addressing the root cause of weight management challenges. So unlike traditional weight loss methods that focus solely on diet and exercise, Hypnosio harnesses the power of your subconscious mind to create lasting behavioral changes. Through guided hypnotherapy sessions, the app is going to help you identify and release underlying patterns that may be holding you back while building a healthier relationship with food and your body. So going to the root issue like that is how you create lasting, sustainable change. So go check it out. Click the link in the episode notes and use my code HOUSEWIFE15 to grab 15% off your first subscription with Hypnosio. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a QR code going to pop up right here. Go ahead and click that or click the link in the episode notes and use my code HOUSEWIFE15 again to get 15% off your first subscription with Hypnosio. Okay. This next one, this one's for all my curved dick men out there. Hey, Jordan, been listening to your show for a couple of years now. Always enjoy and learn from the episodes. My wife and I have been married for about 4 years now. We have a really good sex life. My question is in regard to sex positions. My dick has an upwards curve to it. So like I'm imagining, I can't... Why is this so hard? We have found it hits her G-spot great when she's on top in a modified cowgirl position. We get her to squirt in that position rather frequently. Congratulations. What other positions would you recommend that would work well with my shape for getting her to squirt or just hitting her spots? Look forward to hearing your advice. Thanks for what you do. Okay, so I feel like deep down you know this answer too. I'm going to share from an article I read, the best 4 positions for a curved penis, which you could have found easily as well, but Mommy did the homework for you because you took the time to write into me. But what we know is the answer to your question is that I think experimenting, taking your time and getting good feedback and communication, possibly during somewhat, but extensively afterwards, is trying with her and having the conversation before of like, let's experiment. It might not work like we think. Let's have no expectations and let's find something new. Maybe it's get weird. Let's roll around in pretzel, which might be intimidating to some because like as a girl speaking, and I don't want this to make you feel insecure by any means, and I'm sure it won't because you're like, I've been doing it a long time with her, but maybe being intimidated, like, oh my God, I'm going to break it or something. Like I'm sure every girl has been on top at some point in their life and almost broken a guy's dick. Almost broke, or been like, ow, ow, oh, ow, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Oh. You know what I'm talking about. Doesn't happen often, but I think, every 5 years called, not a decade, but every 5 years, you might break a penis. Okay, when you look up what are the best positions for this, doggy style, if the bent penis curves in a downward slope, rear entry positions tend to be ideal. Ooh. So I wonder if instead of doggy like this for you, if one person could be here facing, okay, would that be really hard? Sitting straddle for men with an upward curvature. This is you, this is you, this is you. A woman on top position can be helpful. One of the best involves male sitting, possibly leaning back a bit and bracing himself with his hands. The woman straddles on the male, lowers herself onto the penis using her hands to guide the member as needed. And this sex position is beneficial for also ones that curve downward. And the woman will sit on top reverse. So this could be the modified way. Standing straddle. Ooh, except the man is standing rather than sitting. And this one's for you too, with the upward. And some limber women have found they can better accommodate a left or righty leaning in this position as well. A limber woman. Not me. Okay, we forgot the last one. Last but not least, sideways missionary, by the way. So I'm not plagiarizing. I credit Lybrate, Lybrate. I went to their website to find this article, so this was not written by me. Sideways missionary. This sex position often works when a man's penis curves to the side, either left or right. It's a mixed use position with the woman lying on her side, but I feel like if she was laying on her stomach, oh my God, we're going rogue. And I think we should finish this. Hold on. It's a mixed use position, woman lying on her side, knees bent, man lying atop her in the traditional missionary position. The side she lies on will be dependent on which way it curves. So this will make it like it's in a 90-degree angle, and that's great. So we basically helped men whose dicks curve and all the fucking side, left, right, front to back. Okay, but now let's go to Jordan's really just epiphany. I'm sure it's not original at all, but to add to give something, to bring something to the table. What if she was laying on her tummy? So now we're not doing doggy, we're like you're on top of her, like a sandwich. I think like a possum. I think this, I mean, I know she's against something, but friction. Okay, she's got the friction. She may squirt right into the mattress. Get yourself a splash blanket, and she's going to go right into that because we've got the friction up front. And then if it's an upward curve, like you said yours is, then you're going to enter into her, and it's going to be rubbing right there on the G-spot. And then she's going to have her like legs closed together. Like, I would imagine that doggy in so many variations could be such a fabulous position for you. And I'm surprised that it suggested the curving downward to that one first, because I would think that that would be, I don't know. Maybe it would give like a cervix massage of sorts. Maybe I'm just visualizing this all wrong. Okay, I think I am. Now I'm thinking I understand. Just missionary. If you have a curved penis and you're in missionary, G-spot galore. There you go. Super soaker. Yeah, that's what makes sense. But I think we figured out how you do it in a modified cowgirl position. But really, it sounds like the curved ones are the type to give squirting orgasms. See, so what some may look as like a defect is actually a bonus, is actually a flex, is actually ideal. Perspective, the power of perspective. Okay. Were you just writing in to brag? Next question. I know this is an opinion question, but half the reason I tune in is because I happen to enjoy yours. Thank you. When is it time to move on from the current relationship you are in? That's it? That's all? Are you contemplating? Yeah, this will be an opinion, but the obvious abuse, which gosh, it's like you say the obvious, but it's like physical abuse. We're like, okay, that's something so like, is the word construct, is that the correct word? Like tangible, you see it, it's happening, it's not okay. Like there's no justifying it, there's no confusion around it. But when it's mental or emotional, verbal, sometimes it can be more hazy, more confusing, and then also just more common because there are people, like wounded people, like people throw the word narcissist out so so much and are quick to label. And I think there are a lot of people that are narcissistic and have narcissistic personality traits, or very vain, or very selfish, self-absorbed, lack empathy, and they aren't like, they have narcissistic personality disorder. There are those people, no doubt. I know some personally. But there's way more people who just have traits like this, and it's from their own upbringing, wounds, lack of self, low self-esteem, deeply insecure, you know what I'm saying? That like things they could work on, skills they could develop, they could become competent and evolve, which is like so hopeful and so exciting. And then when you know that, you can be like, oh, well, that's who I'm with. So all those like bad red flags, like he's going to work on it, he's going to get better. And then some of those people, a portion of those people are in delusion, and it's not going to get better, and it's probably going to get worse, or he's going to keep lying to you, or you're lying to yourself. So it's kind of like, instead of trying to get someone else to explain to you, like, oh, this is when you should go, or this is what's going on, I feel like you really have to not try to work on that, or why this is. And it sounds like you're like, but wait, no, this is what's going wrong outside of me, the relationship, him, us. That's when you have to be like, okay, who am I? What do I value? Do I have self-worth? Do I have boundaries? Am I being codependent? Am I completely fused with this other person? So if that's the case, I need to work on developing a sense of self, which so many of us do. Me, that's what I'm doing right now. And that's so many of us. That doesn't mean like, oh, you're in a really bad relationship, so you didn't develop your sense of self. No, that's like no matter what's going on. That's every single person on the planet. There are some people who grew up with like, I'm sure they have to exist. I don't think I know anybody that grew up with parents who really just like parented in a way that validated them, modeled really healthy coping skills, conflict resolution, hands-on just enough, hands-off just enough, just perfect. There's no such thing. But there are people that ended up with a very healthy sense of self that's securely attached. But a lot of us, most of us are either avoidant or anxious, or, lots of things, because we don't have some of the skills that we needed to learn when we were younger. It is what it is. So we're adults, so we take accountability and we figure it out. We don't blame or be like, oh, we take accountability, and now we do what we need to do to make it work and make it work well and feel good about it. So what was the question? Oh yeah, when is it time to leave? I think if you keep pouring into like personal growth and what you value and figuring that out and like working on you and understanding you, that you'll get that answer. That's what you need to do. Because you'll never be able to keep them. You'll never be able to like, I got to do this and they'll change. Or if I give this ultimatum, it's like, yeah, you can try all those things. But I think all roads will like lead back to you. Cliche, corny. But no matter what you do, you'll get the same lesson over and over and over again. I see it with myself. I see it with other people. I see people go and get in like different relationships, different guys, different scenarios, and get the same life lesson served to them. And lots of the times we put ourselves in what feels familiar, which doesn't always mean healthy. Most of the, and sometimes we mistake, especially if chaos is something that you're used to, we'll mistake peace for boredom. Healthy as boring. And I get it, like sometimes, especially dopamine seekers, passion, excitement, the unknown. And I mean, love in itself, like I've said already a million times, is risky. So that enough should come on, can we just do that one? It's already scary enough. But for some people, they can be very self-destructive because they're like, everything's going right, or this doesn't make sense, or this can't be right. So sound familiar to anybody? So instead of looking for a reason outside of why is this wrong, who to blame, what do I run from? Lock in with yourself, check in with yourself, self-reflect, hold yourself accountable, go to therapy. To all roads lead back to therapy. No, this is just the therapy season of my life, which is why you're getting the answers you're getting now, right? I bet if I like this podcast is going to keep going and keep going and keep going, keep going. And if we could get ChatGPT to pull, they'll be like, in years 2021, 2023, she was unhinged. She was manic in months January to April. Just kidding. But really, so different seasons, different vibes, different answers, different versions of yourself. So no one can tell you when it's time to leave, only you can. And there will be someone who disagrees. There will be someone who said you should have left 7,000 years ago. There will be someone who's going to say you should have stayed and worked on it. And it's hard to be married, and it's hard to be single, and it's hard to date, and it's hard to repair. So you get to pick your hard because they're all freaking hard. And the higher the stakes are, I am that person that's the higher the stakes are, the harder I think you should work to keep it. But again, often think what would you tell your child? If your child was like, Mom, this is going on in my marriage. Think about if you're talking to your kid at 30 years old, married, 2 kids, and she or he is saying this, what advice would you give them? Because you really love them. You really care about them. You would look at it with a different perspective of oh yeah, they may think it's the end of the world, but they're going to be fine. How many times we think it's the end of the world and it's just consuming, but then say someone's going through something and comes to you and they're consumed and you feel so bad for them. You know how bad that hurts, but you know more than they know in that moment that it will ultimately be okay. They will ultimately survive. And they will thrive again one day. They'll be happy and laughing again one day. We know that. You have to remember that when you're the one drowning. So I hope whoever you are, whoever wrote this, if that is something you're battling, that made you feel a little better and maybe have a little more clarity. Maybe it confused you more. This was fun. I enjoyed this. I feel closer to you. Brothers, sisters, if you want to write in, you want to write in, I promise the next time I'm going to record in the morning with a Celsius and really give you that chipper. Maybe I'll I was a bad joke. I was going to say a bad joke. We're not going to say the bad joke. If you want to write in, I really encourage you to do so. hornyhousewifepodcast.com. Follow me on social media at THHpod. And don't forget to fucking click the little check mark up at the top. That's how you follow on Apple Podcast. Click follow or subscribe on Spotify. I'm not sure. You can leave a rating on Apple Podcasts. You can leave me 5 stars and write a review. It helps me so much. And you can definitely tell all your freaking friends. Okay, if you don't have friends, you can tell your internet friends. You can tell people on the video games. Just shamelessly, the Horny Housewife, it's so great. So don't judge it by the name. Go check it out. Go check it out. I promise. If they're ooh, your perverted friends who would just listen for the name and they're oh, but they need the help. They need help. That's a great way. Okay, I'll see you all next Monday. Love